good Sunday evening there, YouTube? I just wanted to do a little vlog for you guys today about my weekend here, and something I'm going to suggest to you guys here at the end of the video. Um, so, what happened was this weekend I went to Ohio. I went up to Cleveland and Canton, a couple other places, and I went up there to film a couple of malls, including an abandoned one with my good friend Anthony from Ace's Adventures, as well as another friend of ours who wished to remain anonymous. So we had a really good time up there, got lots of footage, and I have a lot of editing to do for you guys. And I wanted to do it last night, but I was just so exhausted when I got home. So, also, over the weekend, I got to meet somebody else, finally. We were talking about meeting up and doing some videos together for a while. And although we didn't record anything because it was late, I finally met, and if you're not familiar with him, that Nate guy on YouTube. If you don't know who he is, look him up on YouTube. He's the reason why I really got started into doing these abandoned videos. I enjoyed watching his videos as well as other urban explorers do theirs, but something about his channel and how he presented his videos and how he does everything is what really inspired me to do mine. So meeting him was just too cool, as he would say. And we actually got a picture together. We got a couple. And in this one here, I hope you can see that all right. In this one here, he gave me this checkout lane light that he got from his local Kmart. And he knows how much I love the I Love Crack Whores sticker, so he gave me that too. And I just thought that's so cool. And I actually got it here up on the wall. Here, I'll show you that real quick. And that's a picture of my dad up in the corner there too. It's one of my favorite pictures of him from his last summer with us when he was healthy. So, love seeing him smile in that photo. So anyway, what I was going to talk about was, on my way home back to Pittsburgh, I had a couple of misfortunes happening along the way, and it included driving through Ohio near Alliance. I hit this massive crater in the road. Couldn't see it because it was nighttime. Hit it, blew out the right front tire on my car. It bent the rim, and thankfully I just have steel wheels on my car. Money's tight, so tomorrow when I go to work, I'm going to see if my boss can get me a cheap steel wheel. The tire might be all right, but I'm not sure. But I might need a tire too. But the other thing is too, after that tire blew out, I put the donut on. I'll get to the logistics of this story in a minute, but I put the donut on and got a mile away from the house, a mile away from my home here, when the donut blew out. And it literally just shredded the donut rim, that little tiny rim. And I had to have the car towed the rest of the way via AAA. So, and I'll get into the logistics of that too. So, as for the first tire that blew out, I'm in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. I mentioned I was near Alliance, but I'm on, I think it was State Road 225. And it's pitch black outside. If I didn't have my headlights on my car, my flashlight, or even my cell phone, if I shut all that stuff off, I wouldn't have been able to see my hand in front of my face. That's how dark it was. And my cell phone was going in and out of a signal. I had one bar of 4G, and then it would be an X with no signal, and then go on edge. And it was really hard to try and make a phone call to my mom back here in Pittsburgh and my brother. And I tried, and it just kept cutting out. So I started to panic because I didn't know what I was going to do. And I say that because when the tire first blew out, I nursed the car, about a quarter mile up the road until I could pull into the first driveway I saw to somebody's house, just to get my car off the road, because the road didn't have a shoulder on either side. They had snow banks on them, and then a ditch that was real deep on the one side. And I didn't feel comfortable pulling off somewhat into that snow or just stopping in the middle of the street, even though it wasn't a busy road. With how dark it was, I didn't want a car to be coming up and not be able to see me. Even with my flashers on, I didn't want them to not be able to see me and just smash into the car and get hurt or possibly get killed or anything, including myself, them. So I got into somebody's driveway, and I'm thinking, okay, flat tire. no big deal. I got the spare in the trunk. I got the tools I need. So I go to break the lug nuts loose on the left front wheel, and since I work in a body shop, I know it's a little bit easier to break the lug nuts loose before you actually jack the car up. You know, just break them loose. You don't have to take them all the way off because they're on there so tight. Plus, when you're using a little scissor jack, the little tiny thing that has a spring in it that goes up like that, those things are dangerous as it is. So I wanted to try and break the lug nuts free before I even tried to lift up the car, you know, and then I could loosen them up the rest of the way by hand. But I only found out that just then that the wrench, you know, that came with it, the socket wrench that came with it to do that, the end was cracked. And when I was trying to loosen the lug nuts, it started to round them out. So I had to stop so I wouldn't ruin them and get myself in worse trouble. So I started to panic. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I ended up having a guardian angel looking over me, or somebody was sitting on my shoulder, you know, looking out for me, you know, and this good Samaritan stopped by. And I told him about my channel. So to you, sir, if you're watching this video, thank you again so much. And I'm really thankful for what you did. So this good Samaritan, he stopped by in his car. He hit the same pothole too, and he was worried that he blew out his right front tire as well. So he stopped there. He let me use his cell phone to try and call a couple of local garages and call my mom, my brother, you know, etc. You know, he tried to help me, but the tools he had in his car didn't fit because the lug nuts on his SUV are bigger, so the wrench didn't fit. So we're sitting there, and he stayed with me the whole time we were there, you know, trying to figure something out. We did get a hold of one garage, but they said it was going to take about an hour and a half to even get there so they could loosen the lug nuts so I could, you know, swap out the wheels. When all of a sudden, unexpectedly, a guy in a pickup truck stops by, and he only lived about a half a mile up the road or so. And when we explained to him what happened, would you believe he got back in his truck, raced back to his house? I mean, this guy stormed off to get back to his house as quickly as he could, came back with a cordless impact gun and the right size socket, and he broke the lug nuts free on my car. We jacked it up real nice, got the bad wheel off, put the donut on, buzzed them up real fast, and I was on my way, just like that. Now, the whole time we were there, it took, you know, probably about a good half hour or so of time that was killed, maybe a little bit longer, but it ended up being just wonderful in the end that two people that I don't even know, you know, I've never met before, I'll probably never see again in my life unless they happen to see this video and comment on it. It's very heartwarming to know that there's good Samaritans out there to help. Then going on to the donut story here, I got about a mile away from the house when that blew out because our roads in Pittsburgh are rough. And plus, I was an hour and a half away when I had to put the donut on there, and they're terrible as it is, and I hate them. If I had a full-size spare, I would have been in good shape. But anyway, I got about a mile away from the house when that blew out, and thankfully I had a phone signal, and if need be, I could have walked to the house. But my problem was, I tried to pull the car off the road, and I got it stuck in a ton of ice, and I couldn't move because the tire actually came off of the donut, so it was just a steel wheel or whatever, and I couldn't move. I was stuck. And the back end of the car was out in the street, but thankfully it was a quiet street, you know. Rarely any cars use that road in the day, let alone at night. So, tried to get a hold of my brother, couldn't. Got a hold of my mom. She was going to come down there, and I figured, what's the use? What are you going to do besides keep me company or, you know, take me home? I didn't want to leave my car sitting by itself out in the middle of the street, you know, the back half of it out in the street in a traffic lane, and even with the flashers on. So, I felt terrible to do it, but I panicked, and I called up my really, really good friend, Pac, who also lives in Millvale. He lives right down the street from me. I felt terrible calling him, but you know what are best friends for? He came to the rescue. He came down here within 5 minutes, and he has AAA. I don't have AAA at the moment, but I got to renew it, especially for this reason. So he had AAA, and he placed a call, and a guy came out, you know, in about 25 minutes, just picked up the front of the car, towed it right down to where I work, which is right down the street from here. So the car is nice and safe. It's off the road. It's backed into a spot. And tomorrow I can get a new wheel and tire and be back on my way. Hopefully, as long as there's no mechanical damage now. I don't think so, other than the bumper. The splash shield ripped, which I'm not really worried about, but the bumper came off on the right side, but it's just held in with a 7mm screw, so I can just put a new speed clip on the fender and put like a 10mm bolt through there to hold it secure. So, my point is, if it wasn't for my good friend Pack, or these two gentlemen, these two strangers in Ohio, I would have been in a jam last night, and I don't know what I would have done. Who knows what the future would have been for me for that night. Who knows if the car would be out there still, or if the car would have been wrecked, or somebody would have been hurt because they wrecked into it. Who knows? But my point is, and I'm going to steal a couple of lines from that Nate guy on YouTube. You know, this wonderful guy right here. If you haven't seen his channel, I highly suggest you go and check him out and watch his videos, subscribe to him, give him some likes, you know. But he's started this morning show starting on January 1st. And each morning his videos are, you know, different topics, you know. He talks with us, you know, we get to know him and he gets to know us by us commenting on his videos, you know. It makes us feel connected in a way like we're a family. So, anyway, what I was going to say was, I'm going to steal a couple of lines from him because he gave me permission to. But my point is, with the Good Samaritans that came to my rescue in Ohio, and my good friend Pack that came to my rescue right near home, all I'm going to say to you guys is, pay it forward. You know, pay it forward, and let's make this world a better place. You know, that's what this world needs. With how awful, you know, things can be in this world, you know, you least expect something like what happened to me last night to come through, you know. It was just wonderful. Remember, if you watched my Christmas in downtown Pittsburgh video, you'll remember how I talked about the gentleman that was waiting by Point State Park, waiting for a taxi that never came. And I said, you know what, it's Christmas. Get in my car, I'll take you home. I don't know this guy. He could have robbed me, could have killed me. But I was willing to take that chance because I try to have a big heart for people and try to do good things for other people. I try to pay it forward, and I'm really, really glad that last night, in a double crisis, you know, that I would have such wonderful people come to my rescue and help me and pay it forward. So now it's my job again to go out and pay it forward to somebody else. So, like I said, and this is quote unquote from that Nate guy, pay it forward. Let's make this world a better place for everyone. You know, do something positive. You know, if you can help somebody out, do it, because it'll really make you feel good. And I felt wonderful helping that guy on Christmas night, or Christmas Eve rather, night, get a ride home so he could be with his family for Christmas morning. And you know, with the guys in Ohio that came to my rescue, I tried to pay them. I even had beer in the car. I tried to give them beer. And they refused. So, again, if you're watching this video, guys, thank you again. If I remember right, that was State Road 225 near Alliance, Ohio. I can't remember the name of the road. If you're watching this, if you can comment what that intersection was or what that township was, I do want to try and get in touch with them to see if they'll pay for the wheel and tire I have to get from my car, since that pothole was so big it bent my wheel. I can't even use the rim anymore. It's bent. Like, it's round and then it goes like this. That's how hard I hit that. And I know for a fact I'm not the only one, especially since the first guy that came to my rescue, there was the only car on the road and he hit it too. So yeah, sir, if you're watching this video, if you can remember what that township was, I think you said it was Smith Township or something, let me know in the comments. I'd be very appreciative of that. And again, thank you. And Pack, if you're watching this too, thank you, brother. I owe you big time, and I'm going to pay you back for it. So yeah, now, like I said, it's my job to go pay it forward to somebody else. I want to do something nice for somebody else. I always try to. You know, I always try to do good for people. And I mean, even with everything I've been through since early December, and you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm still trying. My heart hasn't been in it, you know, but I'm still trying to be a better me, because I feel people helping people is important. And when you help somebody, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I end up feeling really, really good. Really, really good about myself. So in the end here, I had a pretty good weekend. Despite what happened with the 2 tires going down, I had a great weekend. I panicked and I had my adrenaline rushing when I didn't know what was going to happen on the side of the road there, but everything worked out. My car's safe at work. I'm safe at home. I'm happy now. You know, I'm tired, but I'm happy. And I got some cleaning to do here as soon as I wrap up this video. And again, it was, you know what, it was all worth it, because I got to hang out with Anthony from Ace's Adventures. And if you're not a subscriber to Ace's Adventures, go over to his channel, give him some likes on his videos, subscribe to him. He just hit 10,000 subscribers, so congrats to you, Anthony, and everybody else at Ace's Adventures. That's awesome. He does a lot of dead and dying mall videos, abandoned mall videos and such, and he does a great job. They all do at Ace's Adventures, so check him out. And again, check out that Nate guy on YouTube. Again, I love you, brother. You're awesome. Even though we just met for the first time, you know, I feel like I've known you for a while through your videos and when we text each other, message each other, whichever. I was going to show you the Kmart light right now, but it's in the room, and my room is a disaster because I was cleaning up in here, and I just wanted to do this video for you now before it got too late. So what I plan to do is I'm going to hang up the light and put a light bulb in it, kind of like what Nate did, and make it a lamp. And I'm going to do a future video where I show off all of my retail goodies that I got so far for you guys, because I know a couple people were wondering. As you can see the music and video sign behind me here, that's just one of the many things that I got as collectibles that have a lot of sentimental value to me. So stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for the 3 mall videos I got for you guys, including one that's abandoned. And when you see that, your mind's going to be blown, trust me. So, I'm going to wrap up this video. Like Nate says, do something good. You know, pay it forward. And let's make this world a better place. Because that's pretty cool. And I will tell you my outro. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, guys, take care. And stay awesome. You guys are amazing. Later.